everyone, this is Daisy Margaret. We are in class 8, unit 5, electricity. This is the topic that we are going to discuss in today's video. Topics to be discussed: introduction, atom, charges, transfer of charges, transfer by friction, transfer by conduction, and transfer by induction. Introduction: all things we use in our life are made up of elements. Each element is made up of atoms with the smallest unit. So you can see here in the picture. So this is the picture of atom. We know that all matter is made up of atom. Atom is the very smallest unit. So John Dalton, the scientist, he considered that atoms cannot be divided further. We cannot divide them further anymore. Atom is the smallest unit. So, but it was found later through Rutherford's gold foil experiment. The atoms are made up of particles like proton, electron, and neutron. So, we know that the atom, it is made up of proton, neutron, and electron. So John Dalton, he considered that atoms cannot be divided further. Okay, so he found out by the Rutherford gold foil experiment that they are made up of the particles like proton, electron, and neutron. Movement of electrons in a material constitutes electric current and generates an energy called electric energy or electricity. So what generates the energy? What generates the electric energy? The movement of electrons. So when the electron is moving, they will generate an energy. That energy is called as electric energy or electricity. We use this energy in our life for various needs such as electric bulbs, fans, electric iron box, washing machines, and refrigerators. These are some of the appliances which work with the help of electricity. Atom. An atom consists of proton, electron, and neutron, which are called subatomic particles. Proton and neutron are found inside the nucleus, which is at the center of an atom. Electrons revolve around the nucleus in different paths called orbits. So here we have the picture of atom. So you can see here the proton and electron, they are within the nucleus, okay, and the electrons are in the parts of the orbits. So these electrons, they revolve around the nucleus in the different parts. The movement of these electrons only causes the energy, and that energy is called as electric energy or electricity. In an atom, the number of protons and the number of electrons will be equal. There is a force of attraction between the protons in the nucleus and the electrons in the orbits. Electrons in the inner orbits are strongly attracted by the protons and they cannot be removed from the atom easily. But the electrons in the outermost orbits are loosely bound and they can be easily removed from the atom. So what they are saying? They are saying that the number of protons and the number of electrons will be equal in an atom and they will be having a force of attraction between the protons in the nucleus and the electrons in the orbits. So what will happen? The inner orbits, okay, the electrons which are in the inner orbits, they are strongly attracted by the protons so that they cannot be easily removed from a atom. The same way, the electrons in the outermost orbits, they are loosely bound and they can be easily removed from the atom. So you can see here the picture of the atom. You have the electron and neutron they are equal in number, okay, they are strongly attracted by the nucleus, okay, they have the force of attraction that is very strong, so that they cannot be easily removed from the atom. The electrons which are revolving around the orbit, okay, which are revolving in the orbit, they will be loosely bound so that they can be removed easily. Charges. Charge or electric charge is the basic property of matter that causes objects to attract or repel each other. It is carried by the subatomic particles like protons and electrons. Charges can neither be created nor be destroyed. There are two types of charges, positive charge and negative charge. So we know that the charge is the basic property of a matter. So it causes the objects to attract or repel. So it is carried by the subatomic particles like protons and electrons. Charges, they cannot be created or they cannot be destroyed. So charges, we have two types. One is positive charge, another one is negative charge. Protons carry positive charge and electrons carry negative charge. Which one carries the positive charge? The protons carry the positive charge. And which one carries the negative charge? Electron carries the negative charge. There is a force of attraction or repulsion between the charges. Unlike charges attract each other and like charges repel each other. So what are unlike charges? You can see here the unlike charges are a positive charge and a negative charge. Okay, so when the unlike charges are there, they will attract each other. And like charges, what are like charges? Both will be positive and both will be negative. So when they are like charges, they repel each other. Electric charge is measured in coulomb. The symbol of coulomb is C. Small amount of charge that can exist freely is called elementary charge. So its value is 1.602 into 10 to the power 19 coulomb. The value of one charge, the elementary charge, okay, that is E is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This is the amount of charge possessed by each proton and electron. But protons have positive elementary charge and electrons have negative elementary charge. Since protons and electrons are equal in number, an atom is electrically neutral. The next topic we are about to discuss is transfer of charges. Electrons, that is negative electric charges, they are in the outermost orbit of an atom. And already we saw that if they are in the outer orbit or the electrons which are revolving in the orbits, they are loosely bound and they can be easily removed. They can be transferred from one substance to another. The substance which gains electrons becomes negatively charged and the substance which loses electrons becomes positively charged. So what happens when a substance gains electron? It becomes negatively charged. When it is losing electrons, it becomes positively charged. So these transfer of electric charges or these transfer of charges from one substance to another, how it takes place? The transfer of charges takes place in the following ways. We have three ways. The first one is transfer by friction, and the second one is transfer by conduction, and the third one is transfer by induction. Let's discuss how the transfer of charges is taking place by friction. Transfer by friction. So we are doing an activity. Take a comb and place it near some piece of paper. Are they attracted by the comb? No. Now comb your dry hair and place it near them. What do you see? You can see that the paper pieces are attracted by the comb now. How is it possible? Comb rubbed with hair gains electrons from the hair and they become negatively charged. We saw that when a substance gains electrons, it becomes negatively charged. So, what happens here when comb is rubbed with your hair? It gains electrons from your hair and it becomes negatively charged. Which is negatively charged now? The comb is negatively charged. These electrons are accumulated on the surface of the comb. When a piece of paper is teared into bits, positive and negative charges are present at the edges of the bits. So we know that the comb gained the electrons and it is negatively charged. So the electrons they will be on the surface of the comb. So what happens when you take a piece of paper and when you tear it into bits, they will be having positive and negative charges which are present at the edges of the bits. So what happens? The negative charges in the comb attract positive charges in the bits so that the paper bits are moving towards the comb. While combing hair, charges are transferred from the hair to comb due to friction. So how the electrons are getting transferred to the comb? That is because of friction. So if your hair is wet, the friction between the hair and comb will be small. So if the hair is wet, the friction between the hair and comb reduces, which will reduce the number of electrons transferring from hair to comb. Hence, rubbing certain materials with one another can cause the buildup of electric charges on the surfaces. From this, it is clear that charges can be transferred by friction. I'm telling you in brief, you are taking a comb and you are combing your hair. When you comb your hair, the electrons in the hair they are getting transferred to the comb due to friction. So as the electrons are gained by the comb is negatively charged. You are taking a bit of paper and you are tearing into pieces and you are keeping it near the comb. The pieces which are tear they will be having positive charges and negative charges in the ends of the paper bits so that the positive and negative charges they will be present in the end of the paper. Now we are keeping the comb near to the paper bits. Already it is negatively charged, so it will attract the positive charges towards it. The main thing we understood from this is rubbing certain materials with one another, they can cause the electric charges on the surfaces. So it is very clear that the charges can be transferred by friction. We can see some more examples. So there also the charges are getting transferred by friction. Similar effect can be seen when we rub few materials with another. When a glass rod is rubbed with a silk cloth, the free electrons in the glass rod are transferred to silk cloth. It is because the free electrons in the glass rod are less tightly bound as compared to that is in the silk cloth. Since the glass rod loses electrons, it has deficiency of electrons and hence acquires positive charge, but the silk cloth has excess of electrons, so it becomes negatively charged. So what are the materials that we are taking? We are taking a glass rod and a silk cloth. The glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth. So when a glass rod is rubbed with a silk cloth, the electrons in the glass rod they are transferred to the silk cloth. So it is the free electrons in the glass rod less tightly bound as compared to the silk cloth. So the glass rod it will lose the electrons Okay, it has deficiency of electrons, so it acquires the positive charge. But the silk cloth, it already has the excess of electrons, so it becomes negatively charged. So when a glass rod is rubbed with silk cloth, the glass rod loses electrons and it gains the positive charge, that is protons. But the silk cloth, it will be already excess in electrons, so it will become negatively charged. You can observe here in the picture, we are rubbing the silk cloth in the glass rod. So what happens, the silk cloth, it already has the excess of electrons, so it becomes negatively charged, and the glass rod is getting positively charged. When an ebonite rod made by vulcanized rubber is rubbed with fur, the fur transfers electrons to the ebonite rod. Because the electrons is the outermost orbit of the atoms in fur are loosely bound as compared to the ebonite rod. The ebonite rod, which has excess electrons, becomes negatively charged, and the fur, which has deficiency of electrons, is positively charged. So this is another example. We are taking an ebonite rod. Ebonite rod is the rod which is made up of vulcanized rubber. What is vulcanized rubber? The rubber ball and all you are using for cricket, isn't it? They are also made by vulcanized rubber. Even toys and all also made up of vulcanized rubber. So that kind of rod, okay, ebonite rod, it is rubbed with fur. Fur is a fabricated cloth. So when the ebonite rod is rubbed with the fur cloth, what happens? The ebonite rod, it has already excess of electrons, so it becomes negatively charged, and the fur, which has the deficiency of electrons, it becomes positively charged. That is because the fur transfers the electrons to the ebonite rod, because the electrons in the outermost orbit of the atoms in the fur are loosely bound than the ebonite rod. So you can see here, this is the fur cloth and this is the ebonite rod. You can see the ebonite rod is negatively charged and the fur cloth, it is positively charged. So from this we understand that when two materials are rubbed together, some electrons may be transferred from one material to the other, leaving both with a net electric charge. Do you know, if a positively charged glass rod is brought near another glass rod, the rods will move apart as they repel each other. If a positively charged glass rod is brought close to a negatively charged ebonite rod, the rods will move toward each other as they attract. The force of attraction or repulsion is greater when the charged objects are closer. Next one, transfer by conduction. Take a sheet of paper, turn it into a hollow cylinder. Tie one end of the cylinder with a silk thread and hang it from a stand. Now take an ebonite rod and charge it by rubbing it with a woolen cloth. Bring this charged ebonite rod near the paper cylinder. The cylinder will be attracted by the rod. If you touch the paper cylinder by the charged rod, you will see the paper cylinder repelling the rod. So you are making a hollow cylinder from a sheet of paper and you are tying one end of the cylinder with a silk thread and you are hanging it from a stand. Now you are taking an ebonite rod and you are charging it with rubbing a woolen cloth. Bring this charged ebonite rod near to the paper cylinder. The cylinder will be attracted to the rod. If you touch the paper cylinder by the charged rod, you will see the paper cylinder repelling the rod. So, what is the reason? Can you say the reason? When the ebonite rod is rubbed with woolen cloth, electrons from the woolen cloth are transferred to the ebonite rod. So, now what will be the ebonite rod? The ebonite rod will be negatively charged. So, when it is brought near the paper cylinder, negative charges in the rod are attracted by the positive charges in the cylinder. When the cylinder is touched by the rod, some negative charges are transferred to the paper. Hence, the negative charges in the rod are repelled by the negative charges in the cylinder. So that we can say that charges can be transferred to an object by bringing it in contact with a charged body. This method of transferring charges from one body to other body is called transfer by conduction. Do you know the materials which allow electric charges to pass through them easily are called conductors of electricity? For example, metals like aluminium, copper are good conductors of electricity. Materials which do not allow electric charges to pass through them easily are called insulators. The example for insulators are rubber, wood, plastic. So, what are the examples of conductors? The examples of conductors are metals like aluminium and copper. What are the examples of insulators? The example for insulators are rubber, wood, and plastic. So, the materials which allow electric charges to pass through them are called conductors, which do not allow the electric charges to pass through them are called insulators. Next one, transfer by induction. We saw that we can charge an uncharged object when we touch it by a charged object. But it is also possible to obtain charges in a body without any contact with other charged body. Okay. So the process of charging an uncharged body by bringing a charged body near to it but without touching it is called induction. So in the case of conduction, we saw that we can touch the charged body by an uncharged body and they can be transferring charges. Here in this process of charging, uncharged body is brought near to the charged body but without touching the charges are getting transferred. The uncharged body acquires an opposite charge at the near end and similar charge at the farther end. Activity: bring a negatively charged plastic rod near a neutral rod. When the negatively charged plastic rod is brought close to the neutral rod, the free electrons move away due to repulsion and start piling up at the farther end. The near end becomes positively charged due to defect of electrons. When the neutral rod is grounded, the negative charges flow to the ground. The positive charges at the near end remain held due to attractive forces and the electrons inside the metal becomes zero. When the rod is removed from the ground, the positive charges continue to be held at the near end. This makes the neutral rod a positively charged rod. Similarly, when a positively charged rod is brought near an uncharged rod, negatively charged electrons are attracted towards it. As the result, there is excess of electrons at the nearer end and deficiency of electrons at the farther end. The nearer end of the uncharged rod becomes negatively charged and far end is positively charged. So, what is transfer by induction? The process of charging an uncharged body by bringing a charged body near to it but without touching it is called induction. Summary of the video: we discussed about introduction, we saw what is atom, and we discussed about charges and types of charges, and finally we discussed about the transfer of charges. So how they takes place? They takes place in three different ways: transfer by friction, transfer by conduction, transfer by induction. This is to be continued. If you like the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.